as a cover, it's kind of behind it, and I'm running away from the whole thing, east a little bit, down the hill, because there was fields, there was a fields. Into the fields, down the hill, and then there was hedges, you know, the fence that they have, but it was down in the valley, like this, you know, and there was a hedge running on the bottom, right through the bottom of it, and so I was in that hedge. I lay down completely and kind of laying and trying to decide what to do, you know, and I became, but all of a sudden there's tanks coming, you know, they.
This is at night still?
No, this was that right middle day. You know,
Okay.
It was morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, by that time it was more morning. By the time because I got that far, it was kind of getting light already, and so by the time I was in the fence there, I kind of lay down and from plowing that little, you know, thing, I'm just laying along the hedge. And I thought, but they come in there, down there shooting, you know.
American tanks?
Yeah, so they were these fast ones, you know. They kind of, and I thought,
half tracks?
No, you know, I don't know.
More like a truck with
all terrain, I guess. But it was like a tank. It was only, it was a small tank, you know, but it wasn't a heavy type with equipment. But of course, I shouldn't say it was pretty damn big. Anyway, so. And they're shooting, you know. So I figured, well, if I lay in that hedge, they're shooting these hedges, you know. And there was an opening a little further down, and there's another hedge going continuous of this, but there was a space in between those two hedges. Again, somebody could tell me, I got pulled myself out. I didn't raise my head because I was, you know, the bullets are flying. Just pulled myself in that trough there from the plow. And there's no hedge or anything like this. Going further, kind of in the middle of this opening, and there was a barbed wire fence, like, you know, maybe 3 wires or 4 wires, like that, I don't know. So, and I'm laying on this side of the barbed wire, and didn't pay attention to that barbed wire, but I knew there was one. And putting a leg in the middle there, and they're shooting these bushes, just where I pulled out.
Right.
They're shooting the heck out of the whole damn bush, both sides, both sides. I said, oh no. So I don't know whether any bullets went over me or not, but they were shooting. So I kind of lay there and I said, oh, brother. And this noise from this tank, there's one tank that was coming that way, you know. I didn't know that how it's one or more, but later on I found out it was one. Coming and it's shooting, you know, and I'm just laying there.
Is there any? Do you see German soldiers running?
No, I didn't see it. So I'm laying there and just waiting for this tank to come close, you know, and I didn't know what's going to happen. All of a sudden, this damn guy's right on top of me.
Oh,
you know,
standing above you?
No, not standing above me, but the tank is gone. They haven't seen me, you know.
Oh, I got you.
So and he's right there, you know. But he hit the fence, knocked me down, you know. But
a guy or the tank did?
The tank.
Oh my goodness.
But in the meantime, if I didn't pull myself up, my legs would have been cut off because I pulled my legs up a little bit, and then when I did that, I kind of lifted myself, you know, in the fence because he kept going. Before he stopped, so he knocked me over, you know, and kind of. I was bleeding from my face here, scratched all over, you know, from that barbed wire, you know. So but he stopped.
He saw you.
By that time I had white hanky or something like that. I put my hand up and holding it. He stopped, and they kind of he jumped out. I think he didn't. He just pointed to me or something like that. And so I thought, okay. So he kind of just pointed. So I went out in the field, like, you know, and they went. Then after I got out of that fence, they went further up the hill again because I thought the valley they are going east, you know. They went further, you know. And I thought, son of a gun, what the heck? Now what? You know, I'm in the between. But they went up the hill, Duchamp shooting around, there was a farm right on the higher up. They turn around, they're coming back to the same area, and so I'm showing, can I go with them or something, and he, like this, and so, okay, so they went, and they gone up the hill like this in pretty good distance, and I said, oh, brother, and I'm goofball, me standing, all of a sudden a shot,
From
shot
where?
From that tank.
Okay.
From that tank, and I could plow right by me, I don't know whether he was trying to give me a notice and warn me, you better lay down or some damn thing, you goofball, So.
And again, you're how old here?
I was
You're
18, So and there's another shot on the other side of me. I mean, I'm sure he could have hit me if he wanted to,
So he was warning you?
Yeah, but he was warning me,
Ah.
But when that second shot, I lay down. Okay, I'm just fine. And he went and
Wow.
It's all quiet, I said, oh, brother. All quiet. I said, wow, it's okay. What am I going? And I'm bleeding, and kind of wiped this. So I kind of went, and there was a little, like a ditch or something. I don't know if there was from digging at one time or something. It was a little deeper, like
From a farm?
Yeah, no, maybe from the farm. I don't know. It was either clay taken from there or some damn thing. It was kind of a little deeper. So I got in there and kind of laying there, just a little few minutes, not even very long. All of a sudden, there's German soldiers coming, marching in a goose type of thing. Maybe a dozen of them, or something like that. And they're coming right into, because there was like a path or something, coming right into where I am.
Jeez.
I thought to myself, oh, son of a gun, what now, And so, but they were escaping they were coming from the front.
So they didn't see you?
Oh, they saw, yeah.
Really?
They saw, but they kept and I just, they said, they were waiting to me to come with them, I said, kind of like I'm going to go with them,
Oh, wow.
And then the last one, she said, I said, okay. But I didn't go, and they went because they were escaping, they were being shot before, so they were escaping, so they just kept going, see.
Right.
I thought, oh, okay. They went, okay, so now I'm left by myself again. I said, what the heck am I going to do? So there's a farm up the hill a little bit further east.
Different farm than you were at.
Oh, yeah. And I kind of went up that farm, and I thought maybe I can stay here or something. I think, what's going on? But they had hay stacks, pretty big hay stacks right on the side of the farm. They're next to this road that was going. So I thought, I'll get in that hay, made a hole, get in the hay, and I thought, I'll wait here, see what's going to happen. And there wasn't a big road, there was a field road type of thing. But anyway, when I'm in there, the American army all the tanks are going right by that. The whole ground is shaking like a.
Oh my God!
But I thought to myself, I can't get out now because they don't know. So I just sat there, I think when they start going back or something like that or something happens, then I'll get out, And it's so I and all of a sudden noises coming. There's one tank coming back. I said, well, maybe if I go out now, I'll go. So I pulled in my white handkerchief and I get out of that hay and stand and because I wanted to go with them, And I'm kind of pointing, They stopped. In fact, they went past a little bit, but not far, just kind of. So he passed, and one of these guys jumped out. I don't know, jumped down and grabbed me like this, on the side with a revolver like this to me, and on the side and kind of away from the tank, And I thought he was going to shoot me. There's no question about it. And he was kind of he must have maybe ex-prisoner or some damn thing.
No, he could have just watched his buddy get killed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who knows?
Oh
what-
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I don't. Anyways, mean boy, he was.
Yeah, he might have taken it out on somebody.
Yeah. So I thought I had it. That's it, you know. And all of a sudden, when he's standing next, like I stood like this to me, you know, real close, and holding this pistol, but the artillery shot started flying right over us, you know. The woo whistle. So he bent I bent a little bit, you know, but and then he quite. So he stood up, and you know, when he stood up, then I pulled my rosary out.
Oh wow.
And shot like this, you know. And he didn't pay attention, you know. But the guy that drives there, the commander of that tank, shouted something in English, you know, which I didn't understand. But to stop him from, you know,
Oh wow.
because he was going to shoot me. Looked like, and he said, so they started arguing.
Oh wow.
This guy arguing with her, and he came, and that guy shouted at me. Said, no, you know, to bring me close to the tank, you know. So he was pissed. And he finally took me closer to the tank, and this commander must have told him to get me on top of the tank or something, and he didn't, you know. So the commander was in the front. He must have been the driver or something, because
he was in charge for whatever.
Yeah, in charge. Oh, he was in charge, all right. Yeah. He drove in it, and this guy has me running behind it. I thought to myself, and he's like this, you know. I thought, oh boy, he's going to get me anyway, you know. He's going to. So I thought, gosh. So again, he went into the valley on that road, and up the other valley, which I kind of came from before. Up the other valley, and they stopped again for some reason, and the commander, the driver, noticed that I wasn't on top of the thing, you know, and so he got up there, you know, and he started shouting at him, you know, and again, you know. He pointed at me that I should climb on top of the thing. So I had to climb on the top of the tank and sit next to this stupid guy. I thought to myself, oh man, if I get out of this one alive, I'll be...
Oh, brother.
You know, so now we go to the village on the main road, and we go right by the farm where I used to, and I think these people they were all by the road.
The people that were holding you up before?
No, the one that were hiding me, see.
Right, the ones that helped you.
Yeah.
For a week.
Yeah.
Right.
They were by the road, they were all waving, you know.
They went in the bunker, but they didn't have room for you.
Yeah, and I think they recognized me. Because I'm almost sure they did, because I knew right by them, you know, by them, and the tanks went, and they took me further.
Were they waving at you?
They were waiting to every, so I don't know whether it was me. I thought it was to me, but you know,
you're right.
They were waiting just for Americans, but I knew them. I mean, I think they recognized me, yeah, especially the farmer, you know.
Well, he saw you every day.
Yeah, he saw me every day because he brought the food, and so they went further, and they had a prisoner camp, like, you know, I don't know how far it was. We didn't go that far, but there was a fenced, barbed wire fence type of thing, and chain link fence, and they had prisoners in there, you know, quite a lot, you know, all these Germans, you know, so they put they put me in the fence with all the rest of them, you know, and that's it. They went, so I never knew about that. I thought, I'm okay now, and I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know how Americans were treating the prisoners. You know,
probably heard horror stories.
What's going? Oh yeah, so I figured, what the heck is going to happen now? You know, but they feed us, you know, and it's. And it seemed like it was, so we spent a few, I don't know how many nights, but we spent a few nights out there in that fenced area.
Did you run into anybody you know or recognized in that? One from my town. I think it was from, really?
It was him, but I didn't, after that I didn't see him anymore. But there was one, you know, and he was a seamster, you know, he used to make suits and everything. You know. He was
Taylor? Taylor,
yeah. And he was married. He had a family already, so I knew him not that good because I was a young kid, but I knew him. But after this,
do you remember his name?
Gorzinski or something like that. But I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's we got separated. We went someplace. A bunch of us went to one place, and he went someplace else. So I lost me. But then later on, I found out.
Okay, go ahead. Later on,
from my parents that he never came back.
Oh wow!
And he was married, and he never came back. I think he decided to just stay away, and never let his family know where he was. The reason maybe they knew that he was alive because I met him.
Well, nothing with.
Yeah, but apparently he decided not to go and let them know when maybe someday he did, but I'm not sure. I didn't.
Was he injured or anything?
No, he wasn't injured. No, but he was pretty young yet. I'm not more older than me naturally, but not that old. Maybe 35, 40 the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, wow, okay. So it's from then they would transported us to different camps, and we went. They took us, maybe included, to. I never forget that little town Dance in Scotland. Dance, D-U-N-S, I think was spelled. I'm not sure. I have never looked it up, but I remember that Dance. They had a camp outside the town.
They flew you there?
No, they drove us on the trucks.
They drove you from where to?
From the prison, from the. First we went on the ship naturally.
Right, on the ferry.
Yeah, and on the a ship, but one like this. Big one, and we got. There were so many people, and we were all the way down on the bottom. Sick to the and through the channel, through the English Channel.
Rough, yeah.
Oh man! I thought my guts would come out. Gosh.
I've been there.
Yeah. So we were at the boat. At the end of the boat, there was an opening where it's, so everybody was just leaning over. Sick as long as you had something to come up yet, And we were just, so finally when they unloaded us from the ship, we were transported with trucks to this country. That's happened to be in Scotland. And I remember the first thing they were driving us to the town, and there's the bakery, with all the fresh bakery in the window. Oh my! It smelled so good. It tasted so good. If I could just get hold of it, or some of that fresh bakery, pastry. And I thought, oh man, it just looked so good, But a little bit further was the camp, so they unloaded us, and we had, and then got to barracks. They had these barracks like this with this,
The quick. What do you call them?
Yeah. So there was quite a lot of them, And
now, were you all segregated at that point into just Poles?
There was that was a Polish camp.
Right. So they separated the Germans.
Yes, that's what they. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Back before they shipped you to Scotland.
You're right. Probably. Yes. Yeah. There was all separated, and we were volunteers to go to the Polish army.
Right.
And I was so when we in the war they got us all together, and then they okay, who can drive, So I was one of them right away. There was another couple, I think. Yeah. When he became mechanic, he was a mechanic later on in the garage, and then this colonel, I guess he must have. Like me or some damn thing, just from looks or some damn thing, I don't know. But he made me his driver, And I remember
a Polish colonel.
Polish colonel, right. Because these officers were they were already ready there, and they were forming the camps and regiments,
to go liberate Poland,
to train, to go fight again,
Yeah.
We had to change our books, our passports and everything. Army books, I still have my army book. I had to change my name,
Do you remember his name, the Polish officer?
But Kunichack.
Kunichack?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That was what was his first name? Or you probably
I
never
don't
had
know.
that.
No.
He was a colonel, full bird
Colonel, yeah.
And you drove him around in what, a truck or a jeep?
At that time, the first car I had to use it was a pickup truck.
Okay.
Ford, stick shift, and it was, when you didn't shift just right,
Grind.
you would grind like crazy.
Double clutch?
Double clutch. You had to double clutch it. It won't make a noise like a son. But I ran on stick, and everything, so I knew, shifted, and so I drove him around that because we would go for maneuvers because my regiment was artillery,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So we would, they would exercise in the fields, like how Scotland, there's a lot of fields and everything. So we go on the regiment would go for out exercises.
And that's around that town of what? Duns?
Duns, yeah. Not too far, yeah.
Spell it?
D-U-N-S, I think.
D-U-N-S.
I'm not quite sure.
That's in central Scotland, where?
This was small, right, right now, because then we were moved again,
Okay.
But there was we weren't that long there, and it's
no, it's okay. I just
yeah, but but it was okay, But we were always outside, we kind of outside and go on the exercises, So a couple of times we managed to go to the town, but but very seldom though. That's 2 times or something.
To recreate?
Look around, yeah. Go to the bakery to get some. So, but
could you speak? They started teaching you English at this point, I imagine.
No, I didn't.
No, okay.
No, I didn't know. So that's why you wouldn't go out. That's it, So, but anyway, we used to go on, and so of course with him, we would pass the column with all the guns, and they had the whole column of guns, artillery, and to go to the front, and then we stand and wait, and the column would go back. He would just observe everything. And
was he a good officer?
The what?
Was he a good officer?
Oh yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was okay.
You know what town he was from?
No, I don't. I don't know. No. And then he, I drove that I guess, and especially then winter came, and we would driving. I was in winter. Now I never forget. I was driving that pickup truck here, and. We would go one day and in the morning, and it was black ice. And we were on the highway, everything, and I'm following the column, and I haven't reached the column yet, and I don't know whether I gave it on the gas a little bit or something. It's spinning around, all the way around, 300 degrees. That's the track back on, and he didn't say anything. And I was cool, and back and drive like nothing happened. So I guess, I passed the test or something. I don't know.
Guys.
Yeah. I was the driver all the time. I didn't do anything else but to be a colonel driver. Then we got a different car. Like Hillman. It was a Hillman.
A Hillman.
Yeah, it's a little English car. It was a front. It was a little. Like a little pickup, had a cover in the back, but it was front. There could be 3 people could sit in there, So, but it was not very much power, It just but it was comfortable. It was
more comfortable for him.
Yeah, it was okay. So, it's so I drove that quite a lot, and we used to go for maneuvers like at night, drive all night. Sometimes he would say. Feel like sleeping, he saw me that I was, I've already driving for so long, so he said, let's stop on the side. And,
cool.
So we stop on the side. No sooner we stopped, he'd tell me later, he just fell asleep just like that, I said, oh boy. So he let me sleep for an hour, 2 hours sometimes, I would sleep, off we go again, so it's, so that was that was good. I enjoyed that because we just did that.
Was London still being bombed?
I think so. I really don't.
You couldn't hear anything from there.
No. And I didn't. You don't. He was
probably firing V2 rockets into London at that point.
Well, maybe they did, but
desperate.
I didn't. No, because it wasn't then. Not.
Toward the end, wasn't he doing that? Firing?
Yeah, it was, but that wasn't the end because we were moved to Selkirk in Scotland, and we stayed in Selkirk for quite a while. Where there was the castle on the top of the hill. We stayed there for quite a while, and so I don't know how it was already, we were training to go to war, all the time, and so it's that was pretty good. I even had a girlfriend over there in Aberdeen, that town, by that time. Selkirk, yeah. And then from then we were moved to Galashiels, which is the next town over, and then from then we were moved all the way north to Aberdeen. Actually, Bucky, it was a little beyond that, beyond that. But Aberdeen is the one town that we used to go to dances and stuff like that. It's soldiers at night on your free time. We would go there. But we stayed there for quite a while. And that's when the war finished, and we were being discharged from there. That's when I went.
The Russians had already come in.
Yeah, that's already. Yeah, that was already.
Germany had surrendered.
But by that time I didn't let anybody know anything in Poland yet that I'm.
Could you have?
I could have probably written. Maybe would have got. But the communists were there.
Right.
And we heard that if you were in German army, if you went back, they would. Some of them there got killed and everything, shot. Hearings and all kinds of garbage and all this. So I didn't want to get into this type of thing. I would have just didn't say anything to anybody. And I don't know where I finally, the first time I let them know that I'm alive,
You don't remember?
I must have been in Perth, I think.
Perth?
Perth. Yeah, I think we were stationed just a little bit over there, I think, from there, because then I met my Stash Agnes's husband that died. We used to go to school together, and I met him. And so we met, and we got separated.
What was he doing there?
Well, he was just same
thing as you.
Boat as
got
me.
Caught up in that whole bit.
Yeah, So but I don't know where he went after that, But there were more like of guys that I went to school with.
You ran into.
Well, yeah, it's Falkirk, where my colonel used to live.
Falkirk.
Falkirk.
Yeah.
Sterling and Falkirk we used to go to quite a bit, and the colonel used to live. His wife was living in Falkirk, But anyway, but we used to go to Falkirk because of he lived there. There was a camp too. So when he went to stay with his wife overnight, I would go to the barracks, and sleep with the guys, They used to the barrack like anyone, these army barracks, and I'd be part of the thing, and then go and
They just give you a bump.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And you did the next bone.
And you'd run into your former mates.
Yeah, that's my Czech Monjelewski. We went to class, to the same class.
To the sixth grade school.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, met him over there.
It's a small world.
And then I heard of others being around in Scotland, in different places, but but I never met them, So that was the only two, but I never met those. But there were more because everybody, those kids, there was quite a few. Everybody that signed up for this, and they got to do the army. This is it. You had no choice.
No, right. It was either that or probably die.
Who knows? Yeah, right. So.
And then, so word got back to Poland through them?
Through them, I think he kind of, Joseph is alive, that's when I also then we started writing to my mother, you know. And
Uh-huh.
my father, he never wrote. I guess he spoke German real good, and he read real good in Polish. He would read newspapers in Polish and everything, but he never wrote. I don't know
really?
why. But he would write in German. He had all his multiplication and everything that he figures that he had to do for a, you know, to get for the number that he was hauling. You know, the measurements. All it was all in German. You know, and so he never. So I don't know how much he knew to write in Polish because my mother used to do that. You know, she would, and of course the woman. I guess she was the one that wrote letters. You know, but he never did. Never did. So he wasn't. Of course, he was so. You know.
So that's where I get that from.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So anyway, that's yeah. But
It's in the blood.
But yeah, I don't know the reason why he didn't. But he never did. So you know, but they finally got to know that I'm okay, and that's when I found out that this other fellow that went together with me was shot, never came back. Yeah. So yes, yeah, but and you know, so when we started being discharged, then you know that's that we were kind of that's it. That's the limit. The hardest part for now is for these officers. You know, what are they going to do with themselves?
Your colonel.
You my colonel, including.
Right.
You know, yeah, so where are you going to go? Where are you going? You know, so, and I knew that girl that I had in Selkirk, the friend there, and through them, I decided to be discharged to that town. And because of that, she was working in textile and every night. So I got a job there in textile. There was about 3 or 4 textile factories. They were at that time. They were still going busy. You know, textile was really on the boom. And I got a job over there with other bunch of, you know. I was still while living with that girl's friend's house because her mother was, you know, she let me live with them for a while, not very long, but and then I broke up with her. Because I just, you know, there was fun. I just things came up. It wasn't for me. It wasn't going to work, you know, and we were going to get engaged. I said, I realized that that wasn't me, you know. That's, and I said, okay, that's it. So I just broke up. And
could you speak English at this point?
Enough, because I used to, when I was in backing and everything, I used to write letters to her, and I would learn quite a bit. And so I did pretty good because I would write letters for the other guys, you know, because when they had to.
So you just picked it up on your own?
Yeah, oh yeah, I studied everything I could get hold of, and then when she would write letters, you know, I would read it. So, and I would make a big effort to learn. I would write and rewrite and write and rewrite till I remembered the idioms and sentences and everything like that. And so I learned pretty good. So everybody kind of, hey Joe, can you write it for me? You know,
cool.
You know, so I was doing that, and so I moved.